Okay, this is your poorly aging.
I used to make up stories about finding treasure in caves like this.
Could you?
I never guessed I'd be doing it for real one day.
Could you not talk over me? This is your poorly aging, sarcastic PC Witty gamer.
Careful.
The purpose of this video is...
Hello. I offer greetings to you, yes?
Oy vey.
KhajKeet asked but for a moment of your time.
You know, it's stupid for you to say KhajKeet asked for a moment of your time. You're talking to KhajKeet. I'm obviously KhajKeet. Now let's see if I can act like I really, care about this. A pleasure to meet kin so far from home. How may I help you?
Your warm words are appreciated.
I thought they might be.
Allow me to explain my encroachment. First of all, my name is Shakar.
Like I
work
care.
for an organization known as the East Empire Trading Company.
I know.
This area I was busy surveying. When, to my surprise, I see someone enter this dungeon in a manner most brazen.
It's just a cave.
And more surprising still, to see you emerge, clearly victorious.
It's just a cave, okay? It's a one-room cave, one cavern. Just went in there was one bear, killed it, took the hide. That was it. You doubted my ability?
It was no question of doubtfulness. Those who enter such places often do not return. During your venture, I'm sure you came across many trinkets and items of value. These places are usually filled with such. But some items you had to leave behind, yes?
No.
It is impractical to carry out all that we might like. This is why I approached. Shakar wishes to offer you a service to assist with this problem.
I don't have this problem. I have a mod. KhajKeet has mod. Allows him to carry over $700,000 worth of, 700,000 pounds worth of loot. It is the only cheat mod KhajKeet puts in his load order. Most other mods he has add people like you to the game. Concepts like the East Empire Trading Company to the game. Quests like the one you're going to give me to the game. More animals to the game. Slower leveling. Things to make it harder. Oh, you didn't want to hear the rest of what I had to say? Well, he's probably going to follow us now because he didn't finish the rest of his pitch. But we're doing this video to get to the top of this mountain and maybe go over to Riften. Before the birth of men, dragons ruled all mundus. Their word was the voice, and they spoke only for true needs. For the voice could blot out the sky and flood the land, and be a television program that would eventually get Reba McEntire as one of the judges. The voice. Arriba! When she was on WrestleMania, they called her Arriba. It was funny. There's supposed to be flowers here and they're not here. Usually the reason they wouldn't be here would be I've already harvested them, but I haven't been to Ivarstead yet. So I'm confused. I mean, obviously, I went to Ivarstead this time, but yes, I'm confused. You may color me confused. And why is that Tamriel dead? There's something going on. I have a big tail. Wasn't there another goat up here? Let's talk to this freak.
Keep an eye out for wolves if you're headed up the path to High Hrothgar.
Do you visit the Greybeards?
They're not the sort to take visitors. But I never go that high up the path anyway.
Well, yeah, you don't have a
Some
shirt.
folk who make the trip leave them food or other essentials, but not to make conversation.
What are you doing out here in the snow without a shirt on?
I like to spend time up here. Walk the steps. Meditate on the emblems. Doesn't hurt when I bag some game along the way.
Yeah, I just got 3 wild goats, but you can't have any because you're gonna die up here in the snow without a shirt on. Yeah.
Good day.
Good death. Men were born and spread over the face of Mundus. The dragons presided over the crawling masses. Men were weak then and had no voice. Apparently it wasn't on the air yet. Arriba! My wife is a big Reba McEntire fan. She watched the 2 previous... well, actually, I guess... I almost called her a Reba again. I guess Reba's been in at least 4 series now. And my beloved wife has watched all 4 of them. Of course, in this, there is no TV. I am a cat named KhajKeet, inspired by the fact that Lucian can say Keet, so that when I die in front of him, he could say, Keet, no! The fledgling spirits of men were strong in old times, unafraid to war with dragons and their voices. But the dragons only shouted them down and broke their hearts. Notice the wolf just passed me right by. Even when he tries to kill you, he doesn't return your hostility. All the enemies are broken, so there must be one singular setting, one single setting that has been glitched by one of the mods or something in this game, and if I can find it, I'll fix it. Because I'd rather have the enemies be mad at me, one, so that I have to fight for what I get in this world, but two, so I don't feel guilty, because some of these quests involve me killing. And obviously I feel, even in a game, I feel guilty killing somebody that's not trying to kill me. KhajKeet, no! That's what Lucian says when he watches me die. Rather than ever helping me win a fight, he just says, KhajKeet, no! Kine called on Parthenax, who pitied man. Together they taught men to use the voice. Then Dragon War raged. Dragon against tongue. Tongue sounds like the French Revolution. That was all about kissing, right? That's where we get French kissing, from the French Revolution. Right? Okay, don't answer me. See if I care. Just see if I care. Now we're going to look around. Doesn't look like we have anybody with us. Okay. There's Lucian. No, that's Numenel. That chick we picked up in that bar. I think it was a bar. And Lucian.
Yes, boss.
I'd like to ask you something.
Not now. We're being sneaky.
Okay, fine. But it'd be nice if you got, like, a weapon in your hands. You moron. Uh-oh. There's a snow troll or some kind of beastesses in front of us. A frost troll who's not willing to hurt us.
Phew. Wasn't which way that was going to go.
You're supposed to whisper, remember we're sneaking. Lucian's an idiot. Men prevailed, shouting Alduin out of the world, proving for all their voice, too, was strong, although their sacrifices were many-fold. Wasn't it the Moody Blues who sang the voice? I can't remember. Won't you take me back to school? I need to learn the golden rule. Oh, won't you tell me again? Oh, can't you hear it? Oh, won't you tell me again tonight? Oh, I thought this was an entrance to a cave. And I thought, what's a cave doing up here? But we don't have to answer that because it's not a cave. Has everybody kept count of the number of steps for that conspiracy guy? I mean, I will tell him when whales fly. The tongues of Red Mountain went away humbled. Jurgen Windcaller began his 7-year meditation to understand how strong voices could fail. Uh-oh! There's a flying whale. I assume that didn't come with the base game and is part of some add-on. I don't know if it's a glitch. I find it hard to believe it's a glitch. I think somebody programmed it so that a whale would fly by. Now, since whales would live in water, I don't know how all this is happening. Jurgen Windcaller chose silence in return. The 17 disputants could not shout him down. Jurgen the Calm built his home on the throat of the world. Wouldn't that choke out the oxygen getting to the world and kill off all life as we know it? I mean, think about it. If somebody stands on your throat, your trachea is going to be blocked. You're not going to be able to breathe. We're almost up to where the Gaybeards are. For years, all silent. The Gaybeards spoke one name. Tiber Septim, stripling then, was summoned to Hrothgar. They blessed him and named him Dovahkiin. That'll come up later if the game isn't crashing after we kill the first dragon. By the way, Earlith takes credit for killing that dragon, even though we're the ones who kill it. The Gaybeards, when they call us up to Hrothgar, they say Dovahkiin. They're calling us, they're not calling her. She doesn't respond to the call. So everybody knows we killed the dragon, yet she tries to steal our glory. The voice is worship. Follow the inner path. Speak only in true need. I must have missed one of the... I think I missed number 6 or something on the way up. Because it didn't give me the... It didn't give me the way of the voice benefit. Which means I didn't hit all those stop points along the way. Now we need to find Klimek and tell him that we did the quest. Don't tell him that we missed one of the waypoints. It's awfully dark.
As if Skyrim didn't have enough outsiders. Now we've got mercenaries for a hammerhead strong dark.
Alright, you've convinced me. I'll count them. I will not.
Really? This is most fortuitous. Daraki had almost given up all hope. But do not rush. Take your time and return when you have an answer.
I just came from there. If you think I'm gonna go climb those 7,000 steps again right now, you're out of your mind. The reason I came here is because sometimes Klimek will show up here at the dock. Oh, there he is.
My friend died. Things won't be the same without him.
I delivered your supplies to High Hrothgar.
Quite a climb, wasn't it? Anyway, much appreciated. Here, take this for your troubles.
You seem tired.
Climbing the 7,000 steps takes its toll.
But you didn't do it. I
Simply
did,
lives aren't
remember?
what they used to be. Maybe I'll get some rest first. Hold off and go another day. 7,000 steps indeed. Next time they need to build it closer to the ground. Thanks again for the legwork.
Okay. We'll come back here to do the other quests some other time. Right now, we want to get to we're on our way to Riften. Riften, it's a heck of a town. Riften. Have you ever noticed that, like, everybody in Skyrim drinks, like, a lot? Drinks every day of their life, and yet all the cities and towns in Skyrim only have one bar except Whiterun? I'm thinking there must be some conspiracy going on. I'm not saying Rardiki or whatever his name is getting to me. But if the most popular thing in the world is mead or whiskey, then somebody must be paying somebody off in order for there to be only one bar per town. It is much harder at night when everything isn't automatically lit. Now we're trying to go east and south because we want to get to Riften as quickly as possible so we don't bore our audience. What's left of our audience. Okay, so we gotta do stamina this time. We probably should go with light armor. Armor rating of light armor is increased by 20%. You gain a small amount of light armor experience while wearing at least 2 pieces of light armor in combat. So that sounds like one you want to take early. Now, I gotta tell you, this chick that's our companion. Don't tell her, but she's really not. She's not doing it for me. As soon as we get other better companions, we're likely to drop her. She seems very generic. She hasn't made any comments about any of the quests we're on. She doesn't have any quests of her own, it appears, that are associated with her, like Lucian does. And the next guy we're going to add to our entourage, you probably know, since I told you we're going to Riften to get him, it would be Inigo. So Inigo and Lucian actually have decent things to say. They comment on what you're doing in the game. They act like real people. And they have quests associated with them. This chick doesn't. And so she comes off as very ho-hum. As though she's not adding anything really to our party. So she's pretty much got very little time to prove herself to KhajKeet before he decides
Return from the war to find my home overrun with bandit filth.
to terminate.
Help will arrive soon.
Agreed. We can't afford to try again.
Agreed. And normally I wouldn't, but I want you to know the decisions behind what we're doing. I do some runs where I would never break the fourth wall. In this one, I'm breaking the fourth wall so that you know what some of the decision making is, so you don't just look at my play style and go, what an idiot. He should have kept her, or he should have gotten 20 of her, or whatever. No, I don't want 20 companions that I have just because they can kill. I don't get companions to kill for me. I get companions so that I could do their stories. I can hear their unique outlook on life. Like, Lucian doesn't sound or look like me. Or like Inigo. But he can talk to Inigo. They can have conversations. And so it's worth having both of them on the team. Where a companion that just is generic, takes companion orders, doesn't seem to have an opinion about anything, and has no backstory, it's very easy for me to say, I don't need this. And remember, the slots in our lineup are precious. The fewer slots we use, the more stable the game will be, and the less likely that it'll crash. So if I have something in my load order that isn't pleasing me, I'm just taking unnecessary risks that it will of itself cause a crash, which if I crash now, it doesn't just crash the game, it crashes the video I'm trying to make of the game. And so the whole purpose I was doing this, all that work is lost. So, on the one hand, I don't want to take unnecessary risks. But if I took no unnecessary risks, I'd be down to playing just vanilla Skyrim. Which some would say is what I should do, by the way. Lots would say, if you're going to play Skyrim, especially for an audience on YouTube, you should play it vanilla. But I'm trying to show how I play it. And the way I play it, I do play it with mods. So that's what I'm trying to show you, what it's like to play a heavily modded, which means scripted, worrisome version of Skyrim. And remember, even an unmodded Skyrim can crash. It's not perfect. Skyrim is a very complicated
Need something?
program, so there's still things that can crash in it. It's kind of like diabetes. You can get diabetes. Humans can get diabetes. And there's things that make it more likely that you'll get diabetes. Like if you had it in your family. If you have certain habits. If you drink soda, you're more likely, if you drink soda on a daily basis, you're much more likely to get diabetes than somebody who doesn't drink a soda.
Hold and stand down. If you want to get into Riften, use the north gate. This one's closed.
Why? What's going on?
My orders are to tell the riffraff to use the north gate. That's it.
Could you make an exception in my case, Persuade?
No. You can use the north gate, or you can head to the next city.
Now see, I knew he wasn't going to make an exception because I knew my speech skill wasn't high enough. But I thought for your amusement, I would ask him to do so. Now what we're going to do is we're going to try going around the town looking for an unguarded gate. But anyway, your sleep habits can make you more likely to get diabetes. Your eating habits, much more likely. And in that way, every mod you add makes it more likely that the game will crash. Now, when I get to a town, a lot of people, by the way, when they get to a town, first thing they want to do is head off to a tavern and get exceedingly drunk. Others, they will go to a town and they're looking for a place to unload all the stuff they picked up along in their travels. Me, I like to commit a good murder on a random stranger when I get into town.
Yes,
Do I make you perfectly dead? Told you I'd kill her. Corella is dead. Corella is dead. Okay, now I've got to change out of my imperial clothing, because as good as it looks, it's not going to help me with these storm cloaks. So now I'm dressed like a storm cloak. Now I don't know what's going to happen, because remember, people in this playthrough have been reacting to my companions rather than reacting to me. And spoiler alert, I don't think I have the charisma to intimidate this guy into doing what I want, or to talk him into it. I don't have the speech skill for it. That's one of the reasons I work on speech a lot. And if he asks for a bribe, I'm not sure I have the money for a bribe either. So we'll see what happens. If I don't have the money for a bribe, I'm going to start looking for work I can do around the town. A Dance in the Fire, Chapter 4 by Waghin Yarth. 18 Bosmeri and one Cyrodiilic former senior clerk for an Imperial Building Commission trudged through the jungle westward from the Xylo River to the ancient village of Vindisi. Oh, I've been there many times. For Decumus Scotty, the jungle was hostile, unfamiliar ground. The enormous vermiculated trees filled the bright morning with darkness and resembled nothing so much as grasping claws, bent on impeding their progress. That makes more sense. Bent on impeding their progress. Even the friends of the low plants, even the fronds. Wow, I can't read. I've got books, but I can't read. Even the fronds of the low plants quivered with malevolent energy. What was worse, he was not alone in his anxiety. His fellow travelers, the natives who had survived the KhajKeet attacks on the villages of Grenos and Althay, wore faces of undisguised fear. Hey, I just want to make it clear, the KhajKeet were completely innocent in whatever they're talking about. Completely, said KhajKeet. There was something sentient in the jungle, and not merely the mad but benevolent, ingenious spirits. In his peripheral vision, Scotty could see the shadows of the KhajKeet following the refugees, leaping from tree to tree. When he turned to face them, the lithe forms vanished into the gloom, as if they had never been there. He knew he had seen them. And the Bosmeris saw them too, and quickened their pace. After 18 hours, bitten raw by insects, scratched by 1,000 thorns, they emerged into a valley clearing. It was night, but a row of blazing torches greeted them, illuminating the leather-wrought tents and jumbled stones of the hamlet of Vindisi. At the end of the valley, The torches marked a sacred site, a gnarled bower of trees pressed close together to form a temple. Wordlessly, the boss Mary walked the torch arcade toward the trees. Scotty followed them. When they reached the solid mass of living wood with only one gaping portal, Scotty could see a dim blue light glowing within. A low sonorous moan from 100 voices echoed within. The Bosmeri maiden he had been following held out her hand, stopping him.
You do not understand, but no outsider, not even a friend, may enter,
she said, and it was really weird because her voice didn't really sound that feminine. It sounded like a 62-year-old man trying to sound like a woman and failing terribly.
This is a holy place.
Scotty nodded and watched the refugees march into the temple, heads bowed. Their voices joined with the ones within. When the last wood elf had gone inside, Scotty turned his attention back to the village. There must be food to be had somewhere. A tendril of smoke and a faint whiff of roasting venison beyond the torchlight led him. There were 5 Cyrodiils, 2 Bretons, and a Nord. The group gathered around a campfire of glowing white stones, pulling steaming strips of meat from the cadaver of a great stag. At Scotty's approach, they rose up, all but the Nord, who was distracted by his hunk of animal flesh. Good evening, sorry to interrupt, but I was wondering if I might have a little something to eat. I'm afraid I'm rather hungry after walking all day with some refugees from Grenos and Othe. They bade him sit down and eat and introduce themselves. So the war's back on, it seems, said Scott, amiably. Best thing for these effect do-nothings, replied the Nord in between bites. He didn't really have a Nord accent. He sounded like a 62-year-old man trying to do a Nord accent, not really knowing what Nord sounded like. I've never seen such a lazy culture. Now they've got the KhajKeet striking them on land, the high elves at sea. If there's any province that deserves a little distress, it's Valenwood, he said in his G-rated tone so as not to offend the keepers of a G-rated, poorly aging, sarcastic, PC witty gaming channel. I don't see how they're so offensive to you, laughed one of the Bretons. They're congenial thieves, even worse than the KhajKeet, because they are so blessed, meek in their aggression. The Nord spat out a gob of fat which sizzled on the hot stones of fire. They spread their force into territory that doesn't belong to them, slowly infiltrating their neighbors, and they're puzzled when elsewhere shoves back at them. They're all villains of the worst order. What are you doing here? Asked Scotty. I'm a diplomat from the court of Gehenna, muttered the Nord, returning to his food. What about you? What are you doing here? Asked one of the Cyrodiils. I work for Lord Atreus, building commission in the Imperial City, said Scotty. One of my former colleagues suggested I come down to Valenwood. He said the war was over and I could contract a great deal of business for my firm rebuilding what was lost. One disaster after another, and I've lost all my money. I'm in the middle of a rekindling of war, and I cannot find my former colleague. Your former colleague, muttered another of the Cyrodiils, who had introduced himself as Regulus. He wasn't by any chance named Leodius Juris, was he? Wait. You know him? He lured me down to Valenwood in nearly the exact same circumstances, smiled Regulus grimly. I worked for your employer's competitor, Lord Vanek's men, where Lord Juris also formerly worked. He wrote to me asking that I represent an Imperial Building Commission and contract some post-war construction. I had just been released from my employment, and I thought that if I brought some new business, I could have my job back. Juris and I met in Athe, and he said he was going to arrange a very lucrative meeting with the Sylvanar. Scotty was stunned. Where is he now? I'm no theologian, so I couldn't say, Regulus shrugged. He's dead. When the KhajKeet attacked Athe, they probably attacked both. Nobody here seems to like KhajKeeties except me, KhajKeet. They began by torching the harbor where Juris was readying his boat. Or I should say my boat, since it was purchased with the gold I brought. By the time we were even aware of what was happening enough to flee, everything by the water was ash. The KhajKeet may be animals, but they know how to range an attack. This is racist propaganda, calling us animals. I think they followed us through the jungle to Vindisi, said Scotty nervously. There was definitely a group of something jumping along the treetops. Probably one of the monkey folk, snorted the Nord. Nothing to be concerned about. How many pages is this? When we first came to Vindisi and the Bosmeri all entered that tree, they were furious, whispering something about unleashing an ancient terror on their enemies. The Bretons shivered, remembering. They've been here ever since, for over a day and a half now. If you want something to be afraid of, that's the direction to look. The other Breton, who was a representative of the Daggerfall Mages Guild, was staring off into the darkness while his fellow provincial spoke. Maybe, but there's something in the jungle, too. Right on the edge of the village, looking in. More refugees, maybe? Asked Scotty, trying to keep the alarm out of his voice. Not unless they're traveling through the trees now, whispered the wizard. The Nord and one of the Cyrodiils grabbed a long tarp of wet leather and pulled it across the fire instantly, extinguishing it without so much as a sizzle. Now Scotty could see the intruders, their elliptical yellow eyes and long cruel blades catching the torchlight. He froze with fear, praying he too was not so visible to them. He felt something bump against his back and gasped. Regulus' voice hissed from above. Be quiet, for Mara's sake, and climb up here. Scotty grabbed hold of the knotted double vine that hung down from a tall tree at the edge of the dead campfire. He scrambled up as quickly as he could, holding his breath, lest any grunt of exertion escape him. At the top of the vine, high above the village, was an abandoned nest from some great bird in a trident-shaped branch. As soon as Scotty had pulled himself into the soft, fragrant straw, Regulus pulled up the vine. No one else was there, and when Scotty looked down, he could see no one below. No one, that is, except the KhajKeet, slowly moving towards the glow of the temple tree. Thank you, whispered Scotty, deeply touched that a competitor had helped him. He turned away from the village and saw that the tree's upper branches brushed against the mossy rock walls that surrounded the valley below. How are you at climbing? You're mad, said Regulus under his breath. We should stay here until they leave. If they burn Vindisi like they did Athe and Granos and Athene, we'll be dead sure as if we were on the ground. Scotty began the slow, careful climb up the tree, testing each branch. Can you see what they're doing? I can't really tell. Regulus stared down into the gloom. They're at the front of the temple. I think they also have, looks like long ropes trailing off behind them, off into the pass. Scotty crawled onto the strongest branch that pointed toward the wet, rocky face of the cliff. It was not a far jump at all, so close, in fact, that he could smell the moisture and feel the coolness of the stone. But it was a jump nevertheless, and in his history as a clerk, he had never before leapt from a tree 100 feet off the ground to a sheer rock. He pictured in his mind's eye the shadow that pursued him through the jungle from the heights above, how their legs coiled to spring, how their arms snapped forward in an elegant fluid motion to grasp. He leapt. His hands grappled for rock, but long thick cords of moss were more accessible. He held hard, but when he tried to plant his feet forward, they slipped up skyward. For a few seconds he found himself upside down before he managed to pull himself into a more conventional position. There was a narrow outcropping jetting out of the cliff where he could stand and finally exhale. Reglius, 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 Scotty did not dare to call out. Well then, why is it in quotes? In a minute, there was a shaking of branches, and Lord Vanek's man emerged. First his satchel, then his head, then the rest of him. Scotty started to whisper something about Reglius shook his head, but Reglius shook his head violently and pointed downward. One of the KhajKeet was at the base of the tree, peering at the remains of the campfire. Reglius outwardly tried to balance himself on the branch, but as strong as it was exceedingly difficult with only one free hand. Scotty cupped his palms together, then pointed at the satchel. It seemed to pain Reglius to let it out of his grasp, but he relented and tossed it to Scotty. There was a small, almost invisible hole in the bank, and when Scotty caught it, a single gold coin dropped out. It rang as it bounced against the rock wall on the descent, a high, soft sound that seemed like the loudest alarm Scotty had ever heard. Then many things happened very quickly. The Cathirach at the base of the tree looked up and gave a loud wail. The other KhajKeet followed in chorus as the cat below crouched down and then sprung up into the lower branches. Regulus saw it below him, climbing up with impossible dexterity, and panicked. Even before he jumped, Scotty could tell that he was going to fall. With a cry, Reglius the clerk plunged to the ground, breaking his neck on impact. A flash of white fire erupted from every crevice of the temple, and the moan of the Bosmeri prayer changed into something terrible and otherworldly. The climbing Cathirach stopped and stared. Kiergo, it gasped. The wild hunt. It was as if the crack in reality had opened wide. A flood of horrific beasts, tentacles, toads, insects of armor and spine, gelatinous serpents, vaporous beings with the face of gods all poured forth from the great hollow tree. Blind with fury, they tore the KhajKeet in front of the temple to pieces. All the other cats fled for the jungle, but as they did so, they began pulling on the ropes they carried. In a few seconds' time, the entire village of Vindisi was boiling with the lunatic apparitions of the wild hunt. Over the babbling, barking, howling horde, Scotty heard the Cyrodiils in hiding cry out as they were devoured. The Nord, too, was found and eaten, and both Bretons. The wizard had turned himself invisible, but the swarm did not rely on their sight. The tree that Cathirach was in began to sway and rock from the impossible violence beneath it. Scotty looked at the KhajKeet's fear-struck eyes and held out one of the cords of moss. The cat's face showed its pitiful gratitude as it leapt for the vine. Didn't have time to entirely replace that expression when Scotty pulled back the cord and watched it fall. The hunt consumed it to the bone before it struck the ground. Scotty's own jump up to the next outcropping of rock was immeasurably more successful. From there, he pulled himself to the top of the cliff and was able to look down into the chaos that had been the village of Vindisi. The hunt's mass had grown and begun to spill out through the pass out of the valley, pursuing the fleeing KhajKeet. It was then that the madness truly began. In the moon's light, from Scotty's vantage, he could see where the KhajKeet had attached the ropes. With a thunderous boom, an avalanche of boulders poured over the pass. When the dust cleared, he saw that the valley had been sealed. The wild hunt had nowhere to turn but on itself. Scotty turned his head, unable to bear to look at the cannibalistic orgy. The night jungle stood before him, a web of wood. He slung Regulus's satchel over his shoulder and entered.
Don't you? Hey, you're not supposed to be down here. Official business only.
It's fine. I'm allowed to be here, Persuade.
Sure, and I'm Queen Beretzaya. Now tell me another one.
Oh, my apologies, Your Majesty. I guess I have enough gold for this, so I'll do it, because Inigo is worth more to me than 107 gold. Can I pass now, O Queen?
Sure, that'll do just fine. Go on ahead.
I had no idea that Queen Beretzaya had a beard. Important. The crazy KhajKeet in Cell 1 is not to be disturbed. He paid good money for that cage, KhajKeet, so don't go bothering him. If he's still here in a month, I think we should enforce a little rent increase. I doubt he'll get the chance, though. You've all seen the way he looks. Won't be surprised if he tries to end his life soon. If you see him in a particularly suicidal mood, get in there and stop him. He's been using the key we gave him, so if you need in there in a hurry, use the spare in the broken strong box above the fireplace. A dead man can't pay rent. Warden Norton. Dead men don't pay rent.
Riften's under my protection. You watch yourself now.
I don't feel good about stealing from prisoners, but I thought I'd see who's in jail. I don't think there's anybody in this cell. Which is weird. I thought I was running... I think I am running a mod that puts extra people in jail.
Have you come to gawk at me, or is this a social call?
Well, first, tell me why... Shut up, Inigo. Why are you in jail?
Look, we all have our flaws. Mine is that women can't get enough of me. So I had this little affair going on while I was betrothed to a beautiful girl named Witty. Well, she finds out and she tells her brother Wolfer that her brother attacked me with a knife. I had to defend myself.
She got arrested for his murder?
Exactly. Now I have to stare at these bars for months. Can you believe it? I was about to let that wench marry into the richest family in Riften, and this is how she repays me. I'd do anything to have that whore's head on a platter. All I need to know is where she is.
I'll help you find her.
Ah, that's the spirit. Find her, and I promise you'll be well compensated.
Do you have any information on Speedy?
She was a young woman, buxom, long flowing black hair. She used to sing the most lovely songs to me when we recorded. Never heard a voice so beautiful. All that
Oh, you never heard me
goes to
sing.
waste when I'm finished with her.
You mean me? You're serving only 8 months for murder?
Mother thought I should be taught a lesson for airing the family's dirty laundry in public. I mean, I've taken care of many people for her in the past. What in oblivion did she expect me to do? Ah,
Oblivion's a different
well,
game.
have all the comforts of home during my stay. Well, except the touch of a woman, of course.
And it doesn't look like you have a family in there either. I mean, I saw a thing about family. It doesn't look like you have a toilet in there either, unless you're keeping it under your bed. Tell me about your family.
When speaking of the Blackbriars, only one thought should spring to mind. We are not to be trifled with. Help us, you end up rich. Cross us, and you'll end up a memory. Is that enough information for you?
Sounds like a threat.
When I find that bitch, I'm gonna rip her little neck.
Hey, this is a G-rated channel, dude. When I was a G-rated channel just up off the floor, we used to go out to Grandma's house every month end or so. Dude, you're naked. Your Derwatzel is hanging out. Inigo the Brave, a tale suitable for any gender and race at any time. One day, Inigo was walking through his spider farm, minding his own business, when he smelt something was wrong. His nose was the best in the land, so he followed it to a nearby cave, where he found a beautiful woman of unspecified race crying. "What is wrong?" said Inigo. "A smelly troll stole my sister," said the radiant woman. "Can you please help me? Please bring her back." Inigo looked into the dark cave, then into the eyes of the woman. "If she is alive, I will save your sister," he said. "Thank you," wept the woman. She kissed him, and he entered the cave, bow in hand. He could smell ugly troll everywhere. He soon came to a fork in the tunnel. There was no back to it. He soon came to a fork in the tunnel. That's what he did, people. He came to a fork in the tunnel. Don't ask me about it anymore. Inigo, what he did was he came to a fork in the tunnel. A little stream ran to the left, and a patch of glowing moss illuminated the way to the right. Follow the stream. Go down the mossy tunnel. Even in the darkness, Inigo was a great archer, and shortly after he loosed an arrow, he heard a yowl of pain. It was a woman! Around him, trolls advanced out of the dimness. The wounded woman shouted, "Kill the handsome cat!" Aim an arrow at the woman's voice. Attack the trolls. I don't understand what these numbers are. The mossy tunnel was almost as bright as Inigo, and soon he saw movement up ahead. It was a smelly troll eating something. Run at the troll, sneak by the troll. I don't know what all this... We'll just take the book. I don't like being outsmarted by simple things. Dude, I told you to cover up your Derwatzel.
Yes? Good to see you. Good to see you again, friend.
Again?
Until next time.
We'll decide where to have him later. I mean, as a follower, that is. Let's talk to Inigo.
Come to kill me at last, have you? Thank the gods. I can bear the guilt no longer.
There is only one God, first of all. So, but yeah, I'm not really planning on killing people for not being Christians right now. But let's find out what you're talking about. Excuse me?
I know I must die. Beware, though. My newfound honor demands I defend myself.
Oh, you have honor right now? Wait. You think you know me, don't you?
I am in no mood for jokes. Strike me down. Take your revenge.
I honestly have no idea what you're talking about. Who are you? Who? I really want to know. Who are you? Who?
You don't remember? That is my fault also. I am your so-called friend, Inigo. I was the one who killed you. I tried anyway. I am guilty. Kill me.
If I'm dead, why are we having this conversation? Don't you know the Torah says not to have any contact with the dead, not to make contact with the dead? And even in Oblivion, there was some kind of thing the Mages Guild was against. Actually, it was Majay's guild was against all forms of necromancy. So if you think I'm dead, we shouldn't be having this conversation. It could get you in a lot of trouble. We're talking a lot of trouble. But I'm not dead. You didn't do a very good job, did you? Why are you here?
After I shot you, I finally realized my mistake and tried to turn myself in. Your body was gone. The guards did not believe me. They said I was wasting their time. I had to pay them to put me in this cell. It is where I belong. I needed to repent. I need to repent.
Everybody needs to repent. I mean, that's clear. And you talked about multiple gods and everything like that, so you need to repent a lot. Probably more than most. Although, to be honest, this place, Skyrim, seems like everybody believes in multiple gods, so everybody has a lot to repent of. But if you thought I was dead, then why are you here waiting for me?
I heard tales of a remarkable adventurer.
Good looking?
Brave and resourceful, matching your description.
You mean good looking?
I knew it was you. It had to be. I knew you would be coming for me, so I waited. Are you going to kill me, or not?
Well, you keep saying remarkable adventurer and all that, but you don't mention my fantastic good looks, so that is reason enough to kill you. But I haven't run into a lot of KhajKeet since I got into Skyrim, so I kind of like to leave you alive, but let's hear you make your case. Kill you for what? I don't remember what happened.
I see that I must relive it again. Your memory is not what it was.
I'm an old man.
We met
An
on
old
the
cat,
job.
actually. Yeah. I don't think you should make fun of my age, okay? I'm an old cat, 52 years old. We're the same race, almost the same color. It's, we met on a job. Great. I don't remember any of this. What kind of job was it?
The killing kind. We were hired by a lord called Dupan to kill his brothers. With them gone, Dupan would inherit a great fortune and promised us much gold in return. Do you remember none of this?
No, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. So he's got other brothers. So because he has siblings, they will inherit with him. But if those siblings die, he inherits all of it, right? Go on.
Before we left, Dupan told me that if only one of us returned from our mission, that one would get the other's reward also. I was hooked on skooma at the time, and I had a bit of a debt problem. So...
Yeah, I don't know what skooma is. I'm brand new to Skyrim. But I'm guessing the debt problem was linked to the skooma problem. So you tried to kill me for my half of the reward.
I tried. That is what matters.
Yeah, that's what
It
matters.
was not an easy choice. We only knew each other for a short time, but I had grown to like and respect you.
Oh, I could tell.
We got on well and fought bravely side by side. I threw all that away for gold and skooma.
Nothing says respect like trying to kill somebody, I respect you, and to show how much I respect you, I'm killing you. Yeah, nothing says respect like that. You are a very bright person, or cat son, or whatever, Inigo. Did you get the reward?
No. Dupan was murdered by his sister before I made it back to his keep. Our deal died with him. Money is an evil like no other, my friend. It is only just that I die at your hand.
But, now wait a minute, think about this, Inigo. Your story doesn't make a lick of sense. If Dupan had a sister all along, she would inherit along with him. So, the original plot was to kill his brothers so they wouldn't inherit with him. But if he's got a sister, she's going to inherit along with him, and she seems to be evil. I mean, she had him murdered. So, killing the brothers wouldn't have gotten rid of all the other heirs. We'd have to have killed the sister too. Your story is pure hokum. You made it up. Are you still hooked on skooma? Maybe these are skooma-induced delusions you're having.
No, I am done with this stuff. I want to die with my senses intact. Kill me now. I am ready.
Nah. You're no good to be dead in this cell. Come with me. Fight by my side.
Fight with you?
No. Fight on my side, not fight with me. Fight on my side against my enemies. I mean, if you'd ever met Lucian, you would know what a horrible fighter he is and how I need somebody just to keep Lucian from getting me killed. I'm a fine fighter myself, but Lucian's going to get me killed soon if I don't hire somebody to keep Lucian alive. Yes, Inigo, repay your debt with the blood of my foes, like enemies.
Or die defending you.
No, don't
Yes,
die defending me.
I feel lighter in my heart now you have given me this opportunity. It will be like old times.
Actually, in old times, you tried to murder me. For skooma and money, and because you didn't know about that chick that was the sister of Dupin. So let's not make it like old times. Let's make it like new times, like where you don't try and kill me. Like, how about you watch where you aim that bow of yours? That'd be a good start.
Do not joke about such things, my friend. The sadness I feel for what I have done is brutal enough. For now.
I actually do need to joke about things because I'm a sarcastic
Thought I'd introduce myself. I'm Lucian.
gamer.
Hey there, Lucian. My name is Inigo. Very pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet you too, Inigo. I think we're going to make a great team.
Yes, I am sure we will.
You don't sound very convinced.
Well, you seem a little, weak.
Well educated? Well dressed? Wealthy?
Weak. I mean no offense. I am sure you will be fine.
Fine? You're sure I'll be fine? Gosh, thanks for the vote of confidence, Inigo.
Forget I said anything. Sorry, Julian.
It's Lucian.
Lucian, yes. What did I say?
Julian?
My apologies.
Apology accepted. Right then, Indigo. Let's get back to it, shall we?
It is Inigo, not Indigo.
Exactly.
Point taken. I do not know about your skill with a blade, but your intellect is clearly sharper than most. Glad to have you with us,
Lucian!
Lucian, yes, Lucian. I am sorry.
You're doing it on purpose now.
Speak to me.
Okay, I need to trade stuff with you so, like, you can wear clothes.
Pooling our resources.
I didn't say anything about pooling resources. First of all, I need to give you all the stuff that have to do with you. Like the model ship and Mr. Dragonfly. And the books that are about you. Some reason they want them to be on you. Now we need to get you some armor. Kind of like it to be light armor so that we're all on a light armor kick. But not the battle mage, because obviously I'm going to wear that. I guess we can go hide. And I'll give you the hide helmet. Although that doesn't look like it's made of hide. That looks like it's made of gold. Now, I saw that you've got a sword. Not to mention a sword. I'll give you half my arrows. Don't use them all in one head. Now, yeah, that helmet is not made of hide, no matter what it says. Now, we got to decide whether to take this guy. He doesn't have a backstory and all of that, so...
something?
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. Let's get out of here. Get out of the way, dude.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Get out of my way. Thank you, moron.
Is there something I can help you with?
It's time for us to part ways.
You'll be all right on your own? Good luck to you.
Well, I won't be on my own.
Lucky for you, that was just sitting there for the taking.
I've got better people. If I have to run, I'm not running out on you, running out on you. If I got to shake, if I have to shake a little sand out of my shoe, running from the law, or they'll put me inside. Baby, won't you let me have a little time to hide? Well, actually, what I've come here for
City of 1,000 suspicious smells.
is to work on my...
From a distance, that is.
Oh, I came here to work on my smithing, but I can't make glasses. I wanted to make eyeglasses, and I can't. Well, let's see. Maybe if I were to use the smelter. Okay, so we're at 14. Now, oh, see, now we can make eyeglasses, which is... I like... Whoops. I like making eyeglasses for my crew. Oh, I can't make any more, though, so that's a problem. I'll make a Mage backpack with bedroll, though. And more lockpicks. Always making more lockpicks.
What brings you to Balliman today? Repair? Purchase?
Now, I can't work on the armor that I normally wear, and that's because it's magic, and so I either need better training or it's not upgradable. I can't remember which. So let's put on a pair of our newly made glasses. By the way, we could get back into our magic gear now, because they only seem to notice that you're in the uniform of the enemy. Only certain people seem to notice it, and we're not dealing with anybody else right now. So we're going to put on some glasses, then we're going to put glasses on everybody in our crew. Because...
Sorry, I keep meaning to give you this, since this arrangement seems to be working out all right for us so far.
I don't know what you're talking about. What is it?
Oh, it's a Dwemer resonance sphere. Just something my father gave to me before I left home for when I found myself someone to travel with.
Yeah, that's terrible
When
English.
activated, it resonates with its twin, which I'll always keep on my person. That way, if we're ever separated, all you have to do is give it a rub, and we'll be able to find each other, no matter how far apart we are. Handy, right?
Sure. Very handy, thanks, Lucian.
Don't mention it. I mean, hopefully we won't have to use it very often.
Can we get to my
Stick
business?
you oh, I don't know, something sticky. Yep, that's what I'll do.
Yeah, so...
Good morning, Keet.
Yeah, my name isn't Keet. But anyway, I need to trade some things
Take
with you.
whatever you need.
I'm not taking, I'm trying to give you a set of my stupid glasses so you look as idiotic as me. See? Don't you feel better now?
You need anything else?
Where's Inigo? Did he run off so that he wouldn't be put in equally stupid looking glasses?
Genuine Valmer blood elixir for sale. Live for thousands of years. See into other people's thoughts.
If you've got the coin, you've come to the right place. Pull up the seat.
Prepare to be outwitted. Or at least outtaught.
Okay, so I don't see what's his face anywhere. He may be in the temple. You know, we just got Inigo. It's kind of odd that he would run off already.
How may I help you, my son?
Daddy! Yeah, I didn't know I was your son. I wanted to know more about the Temple of Mara.
Wonderful. Where to begin? Mara is the goddess of love. The temple
another
tending to the sick,
another
poor,
pagan god.
Lost. We also perform wedding ceremonies for all the loving couples in Skyrim.
I could have a wedding at the Temple of the idolatrous goddess?
Yes, if you were ready, of course. Are you familiar with how marriage works in Skyrim?
I might. Could you remind me, just for the people watching this video years from now when I'm dead and in my grave?
Typically, love in Skyrim is as earnest as the people who live here. Life is
There's
hard.
a guy named Ernest who lives here?
So there's little room for long courtship. A person who is looking for a spouse simply wears an amulet of Mara about the neck, showing they are available. When another person shows interest and the two agree to be together, one of them comes to the temple and we arrange a ceremony.
I'll buy an amulet of Mara.
You are. Now, remember, people in Skyrim respond to deeds. You'll find more people interested in your love if you help them.
Yeah.
Good luck. Mara bless you.
Doesn't sound worth it.
May you return to her benevolence and safety.
Where is that idiot cat that we just hired? You know, we risked our lives to find this guy. We'll go check his cell to see if he's still there, but...
You come talking to me wearing Imperial armor? You got stew for brains?
Yeah, see, there are people that don't like our armor, but I didn't think we were going to have to come back here. That's why I was willing to change it. Oh, see, they put a bounty on us just because of the armor we're wearing.
Committed crimes against Skyrim and her people. What say you in your defense?
What crime? Listen, I submit. Take me to jail. I guess you're smarter than you look, was what you were supposed to say. Are we in... Oh, I thought we were in Inigo's cell. I guess not.
They say Helgen got hit by a dragon. One of those horrors comes here. We'll be ready.
Yeah, try not to murder the guards while you're in prison. That's not funny. Okay.
You got a lot of nerve walking around here dressed like an Imperial Legionnaire.
Oh, okay, that's...
You want to ask me something?
Dude, I was looking for you, and now you're getting me arrested.
If you need anything else, just ask.
You've got a lot of nerve, walking around here dressed like an Imperial Legionnaire.
You've got a lot of nerve.
Yeah, see, the people around the jail are very uptight about my uniform.
They say Helgen got hit by a dragon. One of those horrors comes here.
Most of the people in this town do not care a bit about what uniform I wear, but some people do, and they're all around that jail. That's why I thought I could, you know, change back to my regular uniform. And to be clear, I'm not in this war. I might choose to get in it later on, but I'm not in this war. It's just, when I was given a choice at the beginning of the game, I followed Hadvar, and Hadvar the path that Hadvar gave me had light armor available before it had heavy armor available. And I've always been a light armor guy in these games. And every time you get hit, you get, you know, a little amount of skill based on the armor you're wearing. So the whole time I've been wearing light armor, my light armor rating has gone up just a little bit. But you saw, you know, if you're a mage, you can assault a guard even while you're in prison.
How can a humble servant of Talos help you today? Talos bless you.
You too. Talos bless you. Even though he's a false god. And you're a pagan idolater.
Brigands I can handle. But this talk of dragons? World's gone mad.
We're probably going to take a look at our map after we've walked to the other end of this section. Because really the only reason we came to Riften was to pick up good old Inigo. And we've got him now. So let's save the game, look at the map. And then once we get an idea of what we're doing next, we'll probably end this video and then start a new one. So that our videos aren't 4 hours long like the one we shot 3 days ago. That probably nobody will ever watch. Small house is a very, very, very small house with 2 cats in the yard. Life used to be so hard. Where's the house? Oh, there it is. I just wanted to get inside because it was raining out. Thuriel and Elagost. I would assume this is added by some mod that I don't know about. Dragon Bridge. And I guess the picture was a... That's weird. The picture transported me to Dragon's Bridge. Okay, I've never done that before. So, and it's weird that not only was it raining in the original place, but here on the whole other side of Skyrim, it's also raining. Let's do our level up first. So 110, 110, 180. So I would say health. Smithing is probably what we're going to add to, because we can't do speech again yet. We can't do light armor again yet. So I'll take smithing for 1,000.
Something different about you, I can tell. Hope you ain't here to cause trouble. Fate is the name. I keep the inn. Let me know if you want anything. The meals I serve ain't what I'd call a Jarl's feast, but they'll fill your belly.
I don't know why you would think I was here to cause trouble. Do you get a lot of visitors to Dragon's Bridge? Because, you know, you don't seem to be very nice to them.
My customers are mostly local, but I've seen a lot of travelers lately. Mostly soldier nowadays.
How'd you end up running the inn here?
I was a barmaid at the Winking Skeever when I met my husband, rest his soul. Wasn't for him, I'd still be working there.
Your husband's name is Rest His Soul? What a weird name. I mean, if I met somebody and their name was Rest His Soul, I would think that there wasn't a chance that they were going to live very long. What can you tell me about Dragon Bridge?
Well, this is really quite a nice town when you get down to it. You met the Lilvievs? Quiet family, but they're the heart of Dragon Bridge. Julien will make a fine innkeeper someday.
Yeah, what have you got for sale?
Drink for the thirsty, food for the hungry.
KhajKeet. I think I spelled Kaj wrong, by the way, but whether I did or didn't. I only have 21 gold. Oh, and the Nord Mead was selling for nothing, so I ended up giving it away accidentally. Where can I learn more about magic?
Nords don't care much for magic.
Magic.
College in Winterhold is about the only place it's not looked down on. Otherwise, you could talk to the Jarl's pet wizard in Solitude.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Solitude when it's
next time.
Probably when it's not raining out.
Prepare to be outwitted. Or at least out-taught.
I don't believe we've even met. Why say such things?
Ugh, yet another uninformed ninny. It's clear you're no bard, and you're obviously unversed in the duel of wit. I've no interest in a bout with some no-name layman. and I am certainly no teacher. If you've the desire to learn the craft, I suggest you stop bothering me and enroll yourself at the Bard's College.
Where might one find this Bard's College?
You can find the college in Solitude. They train bards and skalds there, such as myself. I'm unsure if they'd admit one such as you. But I suppose stranger things have happened.
I wish to know more. How is this duel performed?
At the start of each duel, gold must be wagered. Then each participant takes a turn to trade verbal barbs, until one party admits defeat. Then, to the victor go both the spoils and accolades.
That reminds me, I still got to put glasses on Inigo. And probably a shirt. A duel of wit? Explain yourself.
A duel of wit, also known as a duel of insults, is a practice certain bards pursue in order to improve their linguistic skills or speed of thought. To some, mastery of the craft is considered the pinnacle of bardic expertise. To others, it is simply a convenient way to acquire quick coin, usually in an effort to pay off bar tabs.
I'll do as you suggest. Farewell.
Finally, the sweet serenade of silence. How I missed it.
Dave's the name. I keep the inn.
He's kind of a jerk.
Uh-huh.
I need to trade some things with you.
Look at all those lockpicks. I am jealous.
I don't know why your hide armor looks so different than mine, but right now you're going to get our last pair of eyeglasses. We need to make more eyeglasses. Put that on our agenda, people. No, that's just another hide armor. Okay.
All set?
Something different about you, I can tell. Hope you ain't here to cause trouble.
You know, that's just a terrible way to greet people. Well, I didn't expect to do this in this video.
Disrespect the law and you disrespect me.
But again, I didn't know that painting on the wall would take us to Dragon's Bridge. I've never seen that before in the game. I've never even seen that house before in the game, so I assume it's something one of my mods added. So, since I happen to know that Dragon's Bridge isn't that far from Solitude, I'm thinking I will just take us up to Solitude and conclude this particular video there. Then I can do the next video of us exploring Solitude. Maybe picking up some quests there, doing them. I mean, I'm not going to play this game forever because, one, I need to edit the stuff I already did shoot. And upload it, of course. And two, I'm not ready to become a Skyrim only channel. I mean, don't get me wrong, that would be fine. It's just that I play other games and I don't want to just play one game on our channel. And I'm hoping that I meet people through this. People that have the same passion for gaming that I do. And that maybe in the future we'll have, you know, a staff. 4 or 5 people playing the games. Editors. People who can make the videos look terrific and all of that. Because it does seem like nowadays
The Emperor's cousin, Vittoria Vici, is getting married soon.
the videos that are the most edited and, you know, have credits and all of that seem to do better. And right now I have no interest in doing post-production at all. I'm just telling you, if I end up making friends with somebody that likes post-production and can do it well in a way that I like, we might start dabbling in that. I don't know. I do think, though, that if you don't become a subscriber at this level, you're probably never going to like what we do in the future, even if we did do more production. Because I always want to be your sarcastic PC gamer. And that means I'm not doing what other people do. I'm not... I'm not trying to show that I'm a great video game player, that I know every detail of all of it. Hey, I've been playing Skyrim since 11/11/11. So since the day it was released. And I watch these videos about the lore, and they just blow my mind. I can't even follow them. But they totally blow my mind at how well people know the history of Tamriel. How they know the background of the races. Like you know, not just the simple things like that the Dunmer held the Argonians as slaves, and that Nords don't seem to like Dunmer or Argonians, but all of it. They know all these details about lore, and so when a mod comes out or a new game comes out, they know what breaks the lore and all of that. I can't do lore like that. I don't do lore like that, and I don't know it that well. I enjoy the fact that it's there, though, don't get me wrong.
The warehouse is for East Empire Company workers only. Entering without permission is a crime.
What is this
This
place?
is the East Empire Company's central warehouse. All of their shipments go through here. Unfortunately, thanks to some problems they've been having, it hasn't seen much use lately. Either way, it's off limits to you.
What kind of problems is the East Empire Company having?
How should I know? I don't work for them. If you want to help, I suppose you could head to Windhelm and talk to Orthus and Dario. He's in charge over there.
That's quite a hike just to get one question answered. Is there anything to watch out for on the roads of Hoffinger?
Pine Moon Cave is down to the southwest, but it ain't fit for exploring. There are stories. Vampires, some say.
How do you feel about your posting here in Solitude?
Solitude is as glorious as they said it was.
Who's in charge in Solitude?
I've been instructed to tell all visitors that the Lady LSF has everything under control.
That's a cryptic answer. Pardon me, but may I ask you about the city?
What is it?
Can you instruct me to a local inn?
The winking skeever's got warm beds and cold mead. They look like you could use both. Till next time.
So my point is, there's people that know everything about this game. And I'm not one of them. And they do expert videos about games. So I don't know if they have a research staff or whether they just do months and months of research and then do the video that I'm watching or what. These are great, great videos. And I'm saying I'm not going to do those. I'm not saying our videos won't be great. I hope they will be. But I'm saying the kind of informing we do will be by showing. We will show you what a game is like, how it is played by whoever's playing it, whether that's me or somebody else.
I'd say you're an Imperial Scout. So well met.
With many of these games, especially role-playing games, there are...
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver.
Yeah, what's that?
Let's see here. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Again, it just said items added. It didn't tell me what was added. So when I go through my inventory, sometimes I don't know whether the thing I see is something that was just added or not. So we're here to show you how whoever's playing the game for you plays it. The idea being, especially with a role-playing game, they might be playing it differently than you play the very same game. With role-playing games, there's a lot of different ways to play it. With Skyrim, for instance, there are...
To Solitude to join the Legion, speak to Rika. If not, just keep your nose clean while you're here.
There's hundreds of ways you could play Skyrim. I mean, you could play as a mage, you could play as a swordsman, you could play as a Nord, you could play as a Red Guard, you could play as an Argonian. Good guy, bad guy, sneaky guy, in-your-face guy.
Positions. Sorry you need to go home. Go home and stay there until your mother comes.
Traitor!
Traitor! You should tell her that her uncle is a scum that betrayed his high king. Best she know now.
We're all hung. Rogver, you helped Ulfric Stormcloak escape the city after he murdered High King Tori. By opening that gate for Ulfric, you betrayed the people of Solitude.
He doesn't deserve to speak!
There was no murder. Ulfric challenged Tori. He beat the High King in fair combat. Such is our way. Such is the ancient custom of Skyrim and all Nords.
Boo! There's a lot of shops here. We are in...
On this day, I go to Sarcastic.
Oh, we got things floating in the air. That's not good. Oh, a lot of things floating in this area too.
Good morning. Need something?
Huh? Were we talking just now?
No, I'm trying to get out of the place where things are floating around. People are going to think I'm an idiot because I've got these mods that don't work well together. And really, that's not why I'm an idiot.
Are you in trouble? Is that why you're hiding like that?
Hey, if a little kid can see me, I'm not hiding that well. Right now, I'm just basically going around the city. That horse is pretty much blocking the way. Well, I guess I can get in. I was going to say to the Temple of the Divines. I don't like walking around the backside of horses. They're likely to kick you when you do that. I had a teacher that had horses, and she got kicked by her own horse, who she loved, and she was injured quite a bit. Okay. I need to make more glasses. In case we get more. Okay, I can't make any more glasses. But so far I've got enough if we get 2 more members of our crew. I don't know how many members of the crew we're going to end up with. Okay, our smithing is at 200. Everything we make obviously gives us some XP. So here the XP is for smithing. Sure, use a grindstone right when I'm going to it, even though you have no hair on your head. That's fair.
Seems there's no end to the needs of the Imperials. But what can I help you with?
Yeah, one, you need English lessons so that you don't end interrogative sentences in prepositions like with. You make armor for the Imperials?
It's almost all I have time for these days. The men training here in Solitude, and the troops out in the field, they all need weapons and armor. You should look into joining. They could use every hand they can get.
Well, I have a very interesting way in joining the Imperial Legion. It'll come up in videos in the future if I decide to do it, and if the game doesn't crash a lot when I try to do it. You're pretty dedicated to the Empire, then.
To be honest, no. but High King Torrig supported them. And now, her lady Elisif has thrown in with them. You could say I'm a king's man at heart. I guess that's Jarl's land now. My loyalty lies with Solitude. So, where Jarl Elisif leads, I follow.
Have you considered getting out there and fighting?
I think I would, if it weren't for my son and my wife. Oh, Seema would have my hide if I even suggested I might step foot on a battlefield. You think Stormcloaks and Legionnaires are dangerous? Ha!
So, I think stepping foot on Battlefield would be good. We played some Battlefield 2 a couple weeks ago, uploaded the video. I think people are seeing that Battlefield 2, even though it came out decades ago, it still holds up.
The finest weapons and armor.
Yeah, what I want to do is I want to sell you not the finest weapons and armor. Oh, I forgot to put on the amulet of Mara, but I'm not trying to marry anybody right now anyway. I'm trying to make money. One of the things about marrying somebody is you need a place to live. And so I think I'm doing what a lot of people do in real life and trying to establish myself and establish a place to live before I propose to anybody. I've only got 98 gold also. I don't think that's gonna impress any chick. Or her father, if I, go to ask the chick's father for her hand in marriage. I think I can get rid of these garnets, although I'll only get 50 for them. Now I got 240 gold. That's a little less unimpressive. And I wear glasses, so that's good.
Return anytime you need arms or armor. My forge never rests.
I heard the gourmet is hiding out somewhere in Skyrim. You know,
I'm not interested.
The fellow who wrote that cookbook.
Doesn't matter how many times you ask.
Yeah, that guy bugs me too.
If you're heading to the Blue Palace, you might want to rethink that outfit.
It's a uniform. You may not have heard, but we're at war. This is the uniform of the Imperials. The Imperials, this is the headquarters of the Imperials is right here in Solitude, so you really shouldn't be making fun of me for wearing it. Although it does beg the question. I'm wondering, Solitude's public bathhouse. Wow, I don't remember seeing that before. Oh, there's whole parts of the city I've never seen before.
Brigands I can handle. This talk of dragons, world's gone mad, I say.
Yeah, this is a whole area of the city I haven't seen. So obviously added by a mod. I use a mod called Solitude Expanded or Extended or something like that, and it has other people's mods in it. So
what do you need? Need something?
Well, what do you got for sale?
Take a look.
I'd be happy to. He doesn't want to pay me for the meat I have. And the meat he has is 157. So that's quite a markup. I mean, that's Blackbriar mead, but the Nord mead I have He's charging 31 for Nord mead, but he won't pay me anything for the mead I have, so glad to know you're here, but unless I get my speechcraft build up better, I can't actually afford to be here, or at least to spend any money here. Okay, 110, 120, 180, so I think it's Magica. I think we should make our restoration.
Yes? Hey, wanna play tag? Papa says I won't see Rob here anymore.
Public bathhouse.
Yes?
Okay, so yeah, they really did expand.
My papa says I'm gregarious.
They really did expand Solitude.
Mother says I shouldn't talk.
I was trying to go to the Blue Palace, by the way.
Palace. It's a sight to see.
But this is what happens in games. You
Need something.
you know what you're trying to do, and you end up doing a whole bunch of other stuff, either on the way or instead of. I'm very pleased with even the stability. Yeah, it's crashed a few times, but it's crashed due to my putting mods in. But right now I'm even, impressed with the stability of it. When you think I'm running about 455 mods at the same time, that they didn't put them in the game. So they didn't write the game for it. And the mods were created by people who are not professional.
I like this Lucian fellow, my friend. He may look a little flimsy, but I think he is stronger than he knows.
Okay, is this the Blue Palace? Okay, it is. I'm confused because I thought it had bigger doors.
Up for some hunting?
Papa says I won't see Rob here anymore.
Yeah. I used to be an adventurer like you, and I took an arrow in the knee.
Yeah, that's what they all say. Pardon me, but may I ask you about the city?
Can I help you?
Where can I find an apothecary, and what is an apothecary exactly?
If you need potions, head over to Angeline's Aromatics.
Pardon me, may I ask you something about the city?
Yes?
Is there somewhere I can purchase weapons and armor around here?
If it's arms or armor you need, see Beyrand in Castle Dower. Bloody good blacksmith, that one.
Oh, he just came from there. He doesn't have any hair. We're prejudiced against bald people. Pardon me, may I ask you something about the city?
What is it, KhajKeet?
Thank you for recognizing that I'm a KhajKeet. Are there any houses for sale in Solitude?
Proudspire Manor. Now there's a fine home. Up for sale, too. If you're interested, talk to the steward in the keep.
Pardon me, but may I ask you something about this city?
Can I help you?
You probably can. I'm in need of some supplies.
You can sell off that junk at bits and pieces.
What junk? Pardon me, but may I ask you about the city?
Can I help you?
Maybe you can. Where can I buy some new clothing?
I don't abide fancy clothes, but you look like you might. I hear Radiant Raiments has a large selection. Till next time.
Okay, you notice she's sitting there on the throne, not doing anything. Nobody's talking to her or anything. But I'm guessing if I try to talk to somebody here...
Please, don't interrupt the court.
Yeah, see, nothing's happening. There is no court. She's just sitting there.
Please, don't interrupt the court.
Yeah, there is no court, okay? We're not even sure if she's alive. She might have died sitting there. Nothing's being said. The Court of Silence. That'd be a good name for this video. Hello? Lady, you there? Anyway, please give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to our channel. We're trying to build a community. I think it's going to be great when we do. The more subscribers we have, the more we can do. We're trying to offer for free a service to the gaming community that will be very helpful to them. So again, like and subscribe. That's the end of this video. This is your very poorly aging, sarcastic, PC Witty gamer signing off.